Have you ever finished a game and, even after the credits ended, found yourself thinking about it for days? If a game can do that, it's probably doing something special. The 20 games in this video are all unforgettable, but not for the same reason. Some have stories you'll never stop thinking about. Some make exploration feel magical, and others are simply so much fun that you lose track of time. There's a good chance you'll already know a few of them, but I'm willing to bet you'll also find your next favorite game here. So, let's get started. Let's start with a game that makes every journey feel like a fight for survival, Metro Exodus. You play as Artyom, leaving the safety of Moscow's underground tunnels in search of a better future across a ruined Russia. Every region feels completely different, from frozen rivers to scorching deserts. And with limited ammo, a worn-out gas mask, and weapons you constantly upgrade, every decision matters. The game rewards patience, making stealth and exploration feel just as satisfying as pulling the trigger. What players remember most is the atmosphere. The world feels alive without relying on constant action, and the quiet moments aboard the Aurora are just as memorable as the dangerous ones. Some longtime fans miss the darker tunnel sections, but almost everyone agrees Metro Exodus delivers one of the most immersive survival experiences ever made. Few shooters feel this smooth, and that's exactly why Titanfall 2 is still recommended almost a decade later. You play as Jack Cooper, a soldier who unexpectedly teams up with a Titan named BT. What starts as a mission soon grows into one of gaming's most memorable partnerships. Every level introduces something new, from lightning-fast wall running and fluid gunfights to creative set pieces that never overstay their welcome. One mission in particular completely changes how you think about level design, and many players still call it one of the best FPS missions ever made. The campaign is fairly short, which some players wanted more of, but that's also why it never feels repetitive. By the end, you'll probably wish there was another campaign just like it. If you enjoy getting lost in a world that never stops rewarding your curiosity, Hollow Knight is an easy recommendation. You explore the fallen kingdom of Hallownest, where every new path hides another secret, shortcut, or challenging boss. Combat starts simple but gradually becomes incredibly satisfying as you unlock new abilities and create your own playstyle with charms. The world tells its story through its environments and mysterious characters instead of long cutscenes, making every discovery feel earned. Some players found the early hours confusing because the game gives very little direction, but that's also why exploration feels so rewarding. Between its unforgettable soundtrack, beautiful hand-drawn art, and rewarding boss fights, Hollow Knight is the kind of game that keeps pulling you back for one more adventure. If you miss RPGs where your choices actually matter, The Outer Worlds deserves a place on your list. You wake up in a colony controlled by powerful corporations, where every conversation, quest, and decision can change how people see you. Whether you rely on guns, stealth, or simply talking your way out of trouble, the game lets you shape your own adventure. Its biggest strength is the writing, with memorable companions, sharp humor, and choices that rarely feel black and white. The combat isn't the deepest, and some players wished for larger worlds with more enemy variety, but almost everyone agrees the characters and role-playing make the journey worth it. It's the kind of RPG that makes you wonder what would have happened if you had made one different choice. If you're looking for a game that constantly keeps you guessing, Alan Wake 2 is one you shouldn't miss. The story follows two protagonists whose investigations slowly become connected in ways you'll never expect. One moment you're searching through dark forests with only a flashlight, the next you're piecing together clues and questioning what's real. Combat is tense because every bullet counts, and using light to weaken enemies adds a unique twist that never gets old. What players praise most is the atmosphere. The visuals, sound design, and storytelling work together to create an experience that feels more like a psychological thriller than a typical horror game. Some found the pacing slower than expected, but most agree the mystery is what makes Alan Wake 2 so hard to put down, leaving you thinking about it long after it's over. Not every unforgettable game needs combat, and Journey proves that better than almost anything else. You play as a silent traveler crossing a vast desert, heading toward a distant mountain with no dialogue, no map, and almost no instructions. The gameplay is simple, but every new area introduces something beautiful, whether it's soaring through ancient ruins or gliding across endless sand. Along the way, you might meet another player, yet neither of you can speak, making every interaction feel surprisingly genuine. Many players say Journey made them feel emotions they didn't expect from such a short game. Some wished it lasted longer, but that's exactly what makes it special. It leaves a lasting impression without ever saying more than it needs to. Just when you think you've seen everything this game has to offer, NieR Automata completely changes the experience. You play as androids fighting to reclaim Earth from machines, but what starts as an action RPG slowly becomes something far more unexpected. Combat feels incredibly smooth, mixing fast swordplay, ranged attacks, and bullet hell mechanics without ever losing its pace. Every new route reveals another side of the story, making each playthrough feel meaningful instead of repetitive. Players still praise its unforgettable soundtrack, emotional storytelling, and the way it constantly surprises you with new ideas. Some found the multiple endings confusing at first, but almost everyone agrees they're worth experiencing. By the end, you'll remember this game for the questions it asks just as much as the action it delivers. Let's begin with a horror game that scares you long after you stop playing. SOMA. A routine brain scan turns into a nightmare when you wake up inside an abandoned underwater research facility. As you explore its dark corridors, solve puzzles, and avoid disturbing creatures, the mystery only gets deeper. The horror isn't about endless jump scares, it's the feeling that something is deeply wrong with this world. What players remember most is the story. It slowly pulls you into questions about identity and consciousness that stay in your mind long after the credits roll. Some people found the stealth sections a little slow, but almost everyone agrees the atmosphere, writing, and ending make SOMA an experience that's impossible to forget.
We need to assemble your new body with a...
If you've ever wanted to feel like a real samurai, Ghost of Tsushima is about as close as a game can get. You play as Jin Sakai, a warrior fighting to save his homeland during the Mongol invasion of Japan. Every duel rewards patience and perfect timing, while stealth, archery, and different combat stances let you approach battles your own way. Instead of covering the map with markers, the wind, birds, and foxes naturally guide you through one of gaming's most beautiful open worlds. Players still praise the cinematic sword combat, breathtaking scenery, and the peaceful moments between battles. Some felt the side activities became repetitive after many hours, but the atmosphere and satisfying combat keep the adventure memorable from beginning to end. If you're a fan of survival horror, Resident Evil Village is one of those games that keeps changing the rules. You play as Ethan Winters, searching for your kidnapped daughter in a remote village filled with terrifying creatures and unforgettable villains. Every area has its own style, from exploring a gothic castle to surviving some of the most intense horror sequences in the series. Combat rewards careful resource management, while upgrading your weapons makes every encounter feel more satisfying. Players love how each section feels different, keeping the adventure fresh from start to finish. Some felt the final chapters leaned more toward action than horror, but the atmosphere, level design, and memorable bosses are why Village is still considered one of the franchise's best entries. Don't let the mixed reviews fool you, because Days Gone became one of those games players appreciated far more over time. You play as Deacon St. John, a drifter trying to survive in a world overrun by freakers. Your motorcycle isn't just transportation. It's your lifeline, and keeping it fueled and upgraded becomes part of the adventure. Exploring forests, abandoned towns, and taking on massive freaker hordes creates some of the most intense moments in any open-world game. Many players say the slow opening is worth pushing through because the story and characters get much stronger as it goes on. While the mission structure can feel repetitive at times, the emotional journey, satisfying progression, and unforgettable horde battles are what keep people recommending it years later. If you're expecting just another superhero game, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy is likely to surprise you. You play as Star-Lord, leading a team that's constantly arguing, joking, and somehow still saving the galaxy together. During combat, you command every Guardian, combining their unique abilities to create powerful team attacks, while your dialogue choices shape conversations throughout the journey. The writing keeps every mission entertaining, and the soundtrack makes each moment even more memorable. Players still praise the chemistry between the Guardians, the voice acting, and the surprisingly emotional story. Some wish the combat offered more variety, but almost everyone agrees the characters and humor are what make this adventure so easy to recommend. If you're looking for an RPG that makes every day feel important, Persona 5 Royal is in a class of its own. By day, you'll attend school, build friendships, and enjoy everyday life. By night, you'll enter mysterious palaces, filled with stylish turn-based battles, clever puzzles, and unforgettable bosses. Every relationship unlocks new abilities, so even simple conversations help you grow stronger. The game's unique art style, incredible soundtrack, and smooth progression make it hard to stop playing. Players still praise its memorable cast, rewarding gameplay, and one of the strongest stories in the genre. Some found its 100-hour journey intimidating, but most agree every hour adds something meaningful to the experience. Not every unforgettable game needs constant action, and Firewatch proves that from the very beginning. You play as Henry, a fire lookout spending the summer alone in the Wyoming wilderness. Your only companion is Delilah, another lookout you speak to over a handheld radio, as strange events slowly unfold around you. Exploring the forest feels calm, but every trail and every conversation pulls you deeper into a mystery that keeps you curious until the very end. Players still praise its natural dialogue, emotional storytelling, and beautiful art style that brings the world to life. While some expected a bigger payoff, many believe the grounded ending is exactly what makes Firewatch so memorable years later. If you've ever wanted to feel like Batman instead of just playing as him, Batman: Arkham Knight delivers exactly that. Gotham is larger than ever, letting you glide across rooftops, sneak through predator encounters, and switch seamlessly into brutal free-flow combat. The Batmobile adds another layer to exploration and certain missions, while detective work and side quests make the city feel alive. Every gadget has a purpose, giving you countless ways to approach each fight. Players still praise the satisfying combat, detailed world, and the feeling of truly becoming the Dark Knight. Some weren't fans of the Batmobile missions, but most agree Arkham Knight remains one of the greatest superhero games ever made. Few games have made a comeback like Cyberpunk 2077. You play as V, a mercenary trying to survive in the massive night city, where every district has its own personality and danger. Whether you prefer hacking, stealth, gunfights, or fast-paced melee combat, the game gives you the freedom to build your own playstyle. The world is packed with memorable characters, side stories, and moments that feel just as important as the main quest. After years of updates, players now praise the storytelling, world design, and incredible expansion. While its launch was rough, many now consider Cyberpunk 2077 one of the best open-world RPGs you can play today. If you love games where every decision creates a different story, Baldur's Gate 3 is impossible to ignore. Every conversation, battle, and choice can completely change your adventure, making no two playthroughs feel the same. Combat is turn-based, rewarding clever strategies instead of quick reflexes, while your companions react naturally to the decisions you make. Exploration constantly rewards curiosity, often revealing unexpected quests, secrets, and outcomes. Players praise its freedom, unforgettable characters, and the incredible number of possibilities hidden throughout the world. Some found the scale overwhelming at first, but that's exactly what makes every journey feel unique. If realism is what you're after, Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 is unlike almost any other RPG. You play as Henry, an ordinary blacksmith caught in the middle of a brutal medieval conflict. Combat rewards patience instead of button mashing. Every fight feels dangerous, and even simple tasks like learning new skills or earning money feel meaningful. Your choices affect how people treat you, making the world react naturally to your actions instead of following a fixed path. Players praise its believable world, deep role-playing systems, and attention to historical detail. Some found the learning curve demanding, but that's also why every victory feels genuinely earned.
Pay up. What?
Few games make a world feel as alive as Red Dead Redemption 2. You follow Arthur Morgan, an outlaw trying to survive as the Wild West slowly disappears. Every town, forest, and mountain feels handcrafted, with strangers to meet, random events to discover, and countless stories waiting beyond the main path. Gunfights are satisfying, but it's often the quiet moments around a campfire or riding through the wilderness that stay with you the longest. Players still praise the unforgettable characters, incredible world, and emotional storytelling. While the slower pace isn't for everyone, many consider it one of the greatest open-world games ever created. If you enjoy turn-based RPGs, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33 is one of the freshest experiences in years. Set in a beautiful world inspired by French art, you lead an expedition on a desperate mission to stop a mysterious force that erases people every year. Combat combines classic turn-based strategy with real-time dodges and parries, keeping every battle engaging from start to finish. Every companion has a unique fighting style, encouraging you to experiment with different team combinations. Players have praised its emotional story, stunning visuals, and rewarding combat system. Some wished for more exploration, but most agree its originality and memorable world make it one of the standout RPGs of recent years. And that's our list. Whether you're looking for unforgettable stories, incredible gameplay, or worlds you can completely lose yourself in, there's at least one game here that deserves a spot on your wish list. If you think we missed a game everyone should experience, let us know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.